One Punch Man manga chapter 220, titled Major Promotion, sees Blast's son Blue facing off against Genos, and it almost gets heated enough for them to battle. Unfortunately, they don't, but man, they had a standoff, and I really thought they were gonna fight a little bit. It would have been nice to see how strong Blue actually is against Genos. I feel like they might be even. Mastar. If you're looking for a holiday gift and want to support me at the same time, pick up a hard copy of my dark fantasy series, Demon Rush, filled to the brim with gorgeous original art and story. Also, our booster boxes for the Demon Rush trading card game are now on sale down to just $60, and they come with a free gift. Order within the next 2 weeks and get it before Christmas. Links are in the description. For our cover page today, it's Mizuki, and now she's wearing a blue sports top. I guess Murata put her on the cover because she just had her feature anime episode, so for those who like Mizuki, there you go, but she is not in this chapter. The focus of this chapter is Blue, the #1 Neo hero, who was on the way to look for a My Mask after the big fight with Pesky Clown. Since he thinks a My Mask is actually a monster, that means that I guess Blue wants to destroy him. And so he believes that he should be hiding in Z City, which is, I guess, abandoned after the Monster Association arc. And so he's remembering seeing Saitama flying away in the air holding a My Mask. We actually didn't really get to see this part. It was a little skipped over after Saitama flew away with a My Mask in tow, and now we get to see exactly what happened. Saitama is jumping among the rooftops like super fast, and Blue is trying to catch up, but he can't even believe how fast Saitama is, like holding on to this giant My Mask monster form and easily just jumping through the rooftops at super speed. So Blue's gonna try and catch up to him, which is pretty impressive, but in order to do so, he needs to release the limiter on his suit, whatever that means. I believe he has a very unique Neo hero suit. As we've seen, all these Neo heroes are kind of getting these super suits, which empower them a great deal. And it appears that Blue has one as well, but I believe his is like special in some way. This is my favorite art panel of the whole chapter. I love the way Murata twists his body. You can feel like all the power that's about to come from this launch just based on the stance in the camera angle and kind of the sharp diagonal action. Just a super cool panel here. So after releasing his limiter, that gives him the speed to catch up to Saitama. And I mean, Saitama obviously isn't really trying or anything here, but that's still a pretty impressive feat if you think about it. But as he's about to reach Saitama, Genos stops him, appears right in front of his face, which, does that mean Genos is even faster than Blue after he released his limiter? It kind of appears that way. Genos stops him and they have this cool little anime standoff as they land on top of a building, and I was like, oh man, the first time I saw this, at least in the webcomic, I really thought they were gonna fight. And I think it would have been a pretty good idea to actually fight, because we really haven't seen a benchmark for exactly how strong Blue really is. Even in the webcomic, we've seen him kill a bunch of giant monsters and stuff, but we've never really seen like how strong is he compared to some of the S-Class. Now obviously Genos is trying to stop Blue from chasing down Master, but Blue is concerned that the Hero Association is harboring and protecting a monster, which is a My Mask. And if they're gonna protect a monster, that essentially makes them corrupt and evil. So he says, I may or may not be able to resolve this situation peacefully depending on your answers. Super cool pose here for Blue. Love the foreshortening. Murata gave us some really strong drawings of Blue here in this chapter. And Genos realizes that there's some crazy power source coming from Blue's right arm, some insanely powerful energy weapon. And Genos is like, well, you're not in the hero registry, you're not allowed to have a weapon that powerful, I'm gonna have to stop you here. Interestingly, Blue is like, well, you're one to talk considering you were using weaponry when you weren't registered as a hero either. But that's when Blue finally introduces himself as the top Neo hero, and so Genos knows that he's not really a threat, and they kind of disarm, which is unfortunate as a reader. I really wanted to see these two go at it. They even kind of look similar, but I think Genos, just for the simple fact that he was able to like catch up to Blue and block him from following Saitama so quickly and easily, and also Blue seems to be relying too much on his suit, and my guess, if these two fought, Genos will probably whoop his butt, but we have not seen the full capabilities of Blue yet. So he's gonna ask some questions about what's going on with Saitama and a My Mask, to which Genos just kind of plays stupid and doesn't really give him any information. He says that Saitama's actions have nothing to do with the Hero Association, so he doesn't really feel like he has to explain anything to Blue. He also says that Saitama-sensei isn't constrained by any rules. He just kind of does whatever he wants. And Blue can't believe that. He's like, what, you're okay with that? And he takes that as a sign that the Hero Association is so corrupt, they don't even really have rules. They just let these heroes go and do whatever they want. But before he's able to question Genos anymore, a monster appears in the city, and he's going to have to go fight. But that's the end of Blue for this chapter. Now we're going to go back to the Hero Association, where we go to Music Forte and his crew of weakling heroes, and it turns out that Forte has been scouted by the Neo Heroes. And as he explains, they pay double, they hook you up with all sorts of gear, their main mission is safety of the heroes, and he feels bad leaving his friends to join the Neo Heroes, but turns out they all got scouted. The Neo Heroes are just essentially poaching any hero that they can, bringing them over to the Neo Heroes and giving them these super suits to make them way stronger than they should be. So in that case, they don't really need to recruit the strongest S-class of the Hero Association. They can just poach them with better pay and accommodations, and ultimately it just seems like a way better deal for any struggling heroes who are trying to climb. And as they say, it's actually harder to find reasons not to go to the Neo Heroes. They're just offering everything better, they're on the rise, there's a lot of opportunity, and these guys may go join. So we're going to look at Black S and Rover here now. And as Black S states, essentially we're getting to see some more of his motives, like what exactly he's really trying to do, why he's hanging out with the heroes even though he's such a powerful monster. And what he's doing is he's eating. He's getting all this free food, and as he eats, he's rebuilding his cells and he's trying to get stronger again, because after the Monster Association arc, almost all of his cells but like one got wiped out, and he just has to like regrow all of them. And he talks about the threat of the Neo Heroes and how it's actually kind of a good thing, for him anyway, for the Hero Association and the Neo Heroes to kind of butt heads, because it's going to make them both so much weaker. And if the heroes are weak, that will give him his opportunity to, I don't know, they didn't really say what he wants to do, but it seems like he's still kind of evil, like he's just waiting to get strong enough again that he can become a bad guy again. That's the impression that I get. And as he says, compared to Saitama and Tatsumaki, who are monsters, the Hero Association shouldn't even allow those two beings to walk around, like they're just too strong for their own good. Compared to them, those tame and well-mannered new heroes don't scare me one bit. So this is actually a pretty good opportunity for him to keep staying under the radar and keep getting stronger, and if he ever has to fight the Neo Heroes, by then he'll be a giant and there'll be nothing to him. And that's when Saitama arrives, and he has brought some dog food, and you can see Rover, he's all excited to see Saitama. I just love this. I love the little details, like he's wagging his tail even, you know. I really feel the bond between Saitama and Rover so much, and it's awesome. They talk a little bit about, you know, he needs better food, he's chewing up all his toys. It seems like everybody loves Rover. It's not Saitama's dog, it's our dog. That's when Forte asks Saitama if he's been scouted, and as he asks it, a bunch of figures enter the room, and they want to recruit Saitama as a cadre candidate. Nobody can believe it. They're like, what, a cadre already? And they believe that since everybody's getting offers for the Neo Heroes, Saitama is going to get like an executive level offer. And that's the last panel of the chapter. So as we continue with the Neo Hero arc, there are some battles coming up. There's Blue is going to have a fight, possibly in the next chapter, but there's no new major villain for a little while. Big episode of One Punch Man Season 3 coming this Sunday. It's supposed to be the best animated episode of the season. Child Emperor vs. Phoenix Man. So I'll see you then.